Hello everyone, it's Michelle Galnett back with Past and Present Presents. Today I'm going to show you how to do a spiral rosette. I am only using two colors today. This one is kind of like a mint green. It's showing up a little bit darker on camera. This is a off-white. Now this green one is exactly 5 inches and this white one is exactly 6 inches. Well, 5 3/4. So there's going to be a little bit of a size difference. What I'm going to do is, that's what I like to work with the spiral ones, is if you have the smaller and a little bit of a bigger one, this way it shows the colors more. This way they're not blending together. So as I stated in my last video, I like to do 102 inches when I'm doing a rosette. It just gives it a fuller look. So I already have one cut of the mint green. I have it 51 inches, and then the white is going to be 51 inches as well. So I'll just pull you back a little bit, show you how I do it. So I'm just measuring it out. Okay, and then you're going to take your really sharp scissors. You're going to want a pair of those for this. And then you're going to go from the bottom of the seam, and you're just going to go right along down that stitch. So you're going to go all the way down. Okay. So next, what I like to do is, because this one is a stiffer kind of a burlap, I'm going to move you over a little bit, is I like to cut every now and again the 5 inches. You're going to go right on the top of your thicker seam. If you can see that, I'll show you. Sorry, my finger. Right there. And then you're going to go all the way to the bottom of the thicker top seam. And you're going to leave one on the top and one on the bottom. And the reason why you're doing that is because when you're pulling out your thread, you don't want it to come out. So again, stay one from the bottom. Stay in between that seam, and then you're going to go one from the top. So it should look like that. One on the top, one on the bottom. Now, I'll show you what I do next. I'm going to cut the rest of this, my trim, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here we have our longer piece. I went ahead and I pre-did this side. This way I only have to show you two pieces. And then we can go on with putting them together. So next you're going to need your tweezers. You're going to want, you don't have to use really good tweezers for this, but you want to make sure your gripper works. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the center. I'm going to pull it back and pull it out. Pull it back, pull it out. Now I start from the center because you don't want to get these seams to open up. So then after I do that a few times, I take my pointer and my pinky, go through the center, and just pull up. Now this is a thicker kind of burlap. I got this burlap from Big Lots, so it's not as thin. Okay, so see how I have one stitch down on the bottom besides your other one. And then we're going to go to the top. Now I just put my hand up there and hold it this way it doesn't move. Now see how this one came out? Don't worry about that. We'll fix it in a second. Now since this is a loose weave burlap, we don't want to lose any of these because it'll show. All you're going to do is take your glue gun, put a dab right there. What I do is I take the little rubber finger, and make sure you're wearing a mask because you don't want these burlap fibers getting in your lungs. Okay, so that's it. See how that went right back on there? We'll do this one. Remember again, you're going to leave one down there to make it nice and sturdy. And you're going to keep doing this for your entire strip. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like once it's all done. See how you got the one on the top and one on the bottom? Okay. I'm going to get this cleaned up and I'll come back to show you how to put the ends together. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to start at the very beginning. You're going to take your hot glue. Make sure you have at least one of your fingers protected. You're going to put a bead of glue going down, whatever you're comfortable, the length you're comfortable at. To begin, I would just start small if this is your first time doing this. And then we're just going to lap it. Well, we're not going to lap it. We're just going to roll it over. Make sure it's nice and even. And this is what your seam will look like. So now you'll have a double seam. Okay? So you're going to do that for your entire piece. Just a little dab. It doesn't need to be a lot because remember it's burlap, so your glue will go through. Okay, now I'm going to finish this entire length and I'll come right back. Okay, so when you're done, your finished piece should look like this, all folded in half. So your next step is you're going to take the beginning of your first color and you're going to take your second color, and now this is the technique to do a spiral rosette, okay? So then you're going to push down, you're going to, like I said, whatever you're comfortable with. And then you're just going to put this one right on top. Now I like to start with a shorter length of my glue, just so I can get it right. Okay, and then you're just going to push it down. Because you want it to be super tight. So now you have one endless thick seam. Okay, now you see how much shorter that one is compared to the white? We're gonna keep going. Oh man, I'm getting snagged up on stuff. Okay, so you're gonna take little sections. I'll move you closer and down. Let's see how that goes. And you're just gonna bead. Small beading. And then press it down. You want it to that edge, okay? Okay. Now, if your burlap gets a little bit twisted, all you have to do is go back and just fluff it up. So let's put this one over here. So we get this one here. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm gonna keep saying it, especially for those starting out. Don't you twist. Okay. Move it down a bit more. That's why we get this right. There we go. Add a little bit more. Now this is going to be very different in the way we roll these than you would do just for a multicolor one. And the reason why is because the seam on this one is thicker, so it's stiffer. There. See how thin the beading is? We don't want globs of glue. No, no, no. Okay, now we're getting down to the end part. Okay. Alright, so now this is all done. Now what we're going to do is, this is what it looks like. You got your two sides. We're going to take it, we're going to put it down between our legs, hanging to the floor. We're going to take our sturdy pipe cleaner. You don't want to use the tinsel ones with this, just because you want more of a better grip for when you're pulling on it. Okay, so I just fold it in half and just make about 2-fingered little line. Okay, we're going to put our bead of glue, go right to the beginning. Now you can either use the rubber finger. I like to use my tweezers. Just push that bad boy down in there. Get your excess glue off. I got some fuzzies there I don't want. Okay, so now that is what your attachment center is going to look like. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start rolling. So you'll already feel the difference once you start with this, with the attachment piece, how much thicker and stiffer this piece is. So now what I do, I only do small amounts when I first start, because you want to hold this down. Okay, you want to hold it down for at least 5 seconds. And then roll it to that little end. And then push if you have to make it into a round. We don't want it to be square or rectangle or anything. We want a nice round middle. Okay, so see how that is? It's nice and rounded. Excuse me. So next we're going to just do a little by little. That's as far as I'm going to go, because you want to guide your fingers along. because you want to keep the weight of this, and the stiffness is going to make your seam want to go off the side, and we don't want that. Okay, and if you got some excess glue, just remove it. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Now I start to go longer because I see there's a chunk of glue. Because I see this one's not going to give me too many problems because it's only 2 colors. Okay, we'll roll it down, keep our hand back here, make sure our seam is even. Okay, we'll pull it up in a second. This way you can see how nice and even it is. You can see how, let's see. I don't know what that was about. We're going to keep rolling. Now I'm only going faster because, like I said, I've done these before. But if it's your first time doing it, take your time. Go little sections. There's no need to rush. You've already put all this effort into making it. Okay. I'm just gonna keep at it. Oh. Now by the time I get to that one, it shouldn't be as hot. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. As you can see, that was the part that I messed up on. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my finger and wipe it up. Because it doesn't matter what this looks like, because we're going to be covering it anyway. The only thing we want to make sure that this has is that we have a flat bottom. Now, if you start to see you have a little bit of a curvage going, like a little crater in the center, while it's still warm, you're going to push down. Okay, then it's all straight again. You can see it. Yep, see, now it's all straight again. And if you got excess pieces while you're going, you can cut it off. Got all these glue webs. Let's get that, and then we'll finish her up. But see, we have only this left. So I'm gonna go all the way to the end. Okay, I put a little bit of a thicker bead of glue on the end. Okay, and you just hold it. Okay. Lift it up a little bit to see if you have to add just a little bit of a beading right there. Okay, now see how nice and even that is. This is what your finished spiral is going to look like. We're going to add our bottom to it. I have a template of what I use. Where is she? So what I do is if your bottom of your rosette doesn't look nice and clean, you just take a piece of felt, you size it up to your piece. Now this one I have to trim just a little bit more because we don't want it overlapping. But we want it, that's if you're not using this as a centerpiece. If you're using it as a centerpiece on a wreath, then you don't need to use this step because you're not going to see this. Okay, then you pinpoint your center, or you can just fold it in half, and you just cut your 2 little slits. Okay, just like that. Pull up your pipe cleaner, Chanel stems, whatever you prefer to call them. Tuck those bad boys in. Push down. Measure this before your next step. Okay, so see how I don't like the way that one is. It's peeking over the little bit of the white. So I'm just going to cut a little bit more. Okay, then we're just going to lift it up. And I need another glue gun. Glue stick. And we're just going to add just to the inside, not to the outside. Okay. And you're going to gently push that back down. Get that center down first and then press the rest. And the reason why I don't do the outside is just in case I have to do this. Okay, so that's how your bottom's going to look. And take it up, and you see how the mint green is just peeking out through the center. Then you just take it, and this is where the prettiness happens. This is when you start fluffing. Now, I don't usually touch the center too much, just because we want that nice and tight. We want to keep it nice and intact. And we just fluff out the outsides. And that is how your rosette will end up looking. And then get this nice pretty back. So that is how you make a spiral rosette. Now you can always adjust your petals. You adjust just like this. Adjust them however you like. And that's how you make your spiral rosette. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe, and then the little bell. It'll tell you when I am uploading another video. Well, I've uploaded another video for you to watch. So have a great day, everyone. Bye.